It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Happy 4th of July. Thank you for checking out the podcast today. Is this 18 days in a row? Are we at 18? We are nearing 20, which I feel like is a good marking on our way to 100 days in a row of podcasting. 20 is a good one. Fifth of the way there. 25 is going to be a big one. And then if we can do a month, I don't need to explain how this works, but we're getting some momentum. Thanks for checking it out. I hope you have been enjoying the daily podcasts. Okay. If you're not watching on YouTube, you need to be youtube.com/Bommarooski, because I do have something in today's video that will be important. It's not going to make or break the podcast, but it does help a little bit in getting you excited for something I'm going to try to sell you on. I want to make your 4th of July just a skosh better with something I've talked about before, but we have new listenership every year, so we'll get into it a little bit more on how to make your 4th of July just a tiny bit more fun. Before that, though, IGN, I saw the post on their Instagram, IGN, one of my favorite websites, Internet Gaming Network, is that what it is? Anyways, they cover a lot of video game stuff. I've been a big IGN guy since the early 2000s when I got access to computers at college with the internet. I was all over IGN. IGN put up their top 30, IGN put up their top 30 comedy movies of all time. I saw it on their Instagram, and it rattled my brain a bit. I'm not ashamed to admit when I have or haven't been part of a movement, and I thought I was pretty good with comedy movies. Their top 10 comedies, I have not seen any of them. So I'm going to run down the top 10, and what I'm needing is people to comment and let me know which of these 10 I start with, or if this list is kind of bunk. Here we go. Their top 10 were, and I'll go from 10 to 1. Their top 10 were from 1931, number 10 from 1931, City Lights. Number 9 from 1988, Coming to America. This is one I just missed, and I've heard it's great. Number 8, 1974, Young Frankenstein. Number 7, 1933, Duck Soup. There's no way that's funnier than other movies. There's no way it's funnier. It's number 7 on their list. There is no way you can tell me there aren't 7 movies better than that one, just from the year 2000. Okay, number 6 was Wet Hot American Summer from 2001. Number 5 from 1983, National Lampoon's Vacation. Number 4 from 1984, This is Spinal Tap. Number 3 from 1964, Dr. Strangelove. Number 2 from 1975, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Number 1 from 1988, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. I've not seen any of those movies. Is this list legitimate? Can you think of 10 movies better, 10 comedies better than those ones? Maybe not. What movies from that list are absolute must-watches? Because I would like to know. I would like to watch them. I've got no problem catching up on movies I missed. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to think that movies like Zoolander, like Anchorman, I'm struggling to think that there is a 1933 movie, Duck Soup, that is funnier than Anchorman, that's funnier than Zoolander, that's funnier than Groundhog Day, that's funnier than even like What About Bob, funnier than Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber to me is the funniest movie of all time. I think that you don't get funnier than that. It's great. So let me know. It was weird looking at it. I'm so excited to look at these lists and be like, oh, I love that movie. That movie made me laugh a ton. Happy Gilmore made me laugh a ton. Is a 1933 Duck Soup funnier than Happy Gilmore? If it is, I'm going to laugh my buns off at these movies. Now, if Duck Soup is funnier than Dumb and Dumber, then I am going to cry and wet myself watching these movies. Anyhow, that was their list. I need to know which of those top 10 are absolute must-watches, because I don't have a ton of free time in my life, but with the little bit I do, I'd like to catch up on these. And if there's some that are in there that are really, really funny, I want to watch them. I just thought that list was interesting. I'm looking now at their 30, all of their 30, and Superbad's on their list at like number 27. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. If you have not watched an Austin Powers movie, they're so stinking funny. That was number 28. I know Monty Python and the Holy Grail is like a beloved movie by many, and it might have been the greatest movie when it came out and very funny. Are we at a point though where we just go, look, we have to give nostalgia a little bit of love? Because I operate under the opinion we get better as we get more experienced with things, right? It's the 10,000 hours thing. In the 70s, they're still experimenting with comedy, and they're probably very funny movies in the 70s. But since the 70s, there's been a lot of time to improve on comedy, to make movies better. And so I'm struggling to think that a movie from the 70s is funnier than a movie from the 90s. Austin Powers is so doggone funny. Bridesmaids is number 30 on their list? Number 30? You're telling me that Doctor Strangelove is funnier than Bridesmaids? You're telling me that Doctor Strangelove is funnier than just that one Melissa McCarthy scene in the airplane? There's no way. I truly can't imagine it. Anyways, which one of those movies is actually hilarious and a must watch? Please let me know. IGN. Are you just doing clickbait stuff, or are you being legitimate? That's all I ask. Okay, I want to improve your 4th of July. Today's a great day, fun day off. Celebrate America if you are live in the States and you are from the USA, and it's an awesome day for you. It's great, right? It's very fun. So I spent the majority of my adult life going to my grandparents for 4th of July. We would get up early. My cousins and I would get up early. We'd get excited about this day. Everyone in my family would get when I say my family, my grandpa and grandma, their 5 kids, and the grandkids, we'd all go over to Gramps and Grams. And everyone in the morning would get garbed up in their uniform for the day, some kind of American apparel. Not American Apparel, the brand, but some kind of American outfit. Whether it was just, a shirt with an American flag on it, or, sometimes you would get the super creatives who'd come in with face paint, the bandanas, like the most wild red, white, and blue shirts, some custom-made shirts. It was great. So everyone would show up to Gramps' house, and at noon or maybe 1 o'clock, the games would begin. And what it was called Family Fun on the 4th, okay? Family Fun on the 4th, and my grandpa would run the family through a bunch of backyard games. And then you'd play these backyard games for like 3-4 hours. And someone would be hailed at the end of the day, the champion of Family Fun on the 4th. It would lead right into barbecued hamburgers, great dinner. And then after dinner, everyone would scatter and go to their firework viewing spot of their choosing. It was the best. And this started in like 2004 or 2005 and went until 2017. And the reason I know that is because in 2017, and for those of you watching, I was the last person, there's 2 of these trophies that I'm holding. It is a homemade Gramps Woody special. Does it have his stamp on the bottom? No. It is a homemade Gramps Woody special. It's a piece of wood, wooden plaque with a wooden homemade firecracker on top of it. And it says on the plaque, Family Fun on the 4th. 2005, the first winner was Carol Widmer, my aunt. And then I began my reign of dominance. Ryan and I won in 2006. Ryan won the next 2 years. Then I went on a 3-year winning streak. Zach took one. Travis took one. But in 2017, our last year doing it, you can see in the bottom, Sean Widmer right there in the bottom. I won the last year, one of the 2. I don't know. I think Zach might have won the other one. And Gramps did 2 winners for a long time. But here's what I want to tell you. That trophy not only signifies my dominance in backyard games, but it is an example of how to maximize a very fun holiday and how to make it even better. The backyard game tournament is going to be in my lifetime one of my favorite things I've ever done. I'm very competitive. I like games. I love backyard games. I love any kind of game you can play at the house, right? So this was like the mecca for me. So I want to tell you what I would recommend for you if this is something you want to add to your family's repertoire. It's great if you've got a bigger family, even if you have a group of friends that get together every year and you're looking for like that activity in the afternoon before fireworks. it was great because Gramps and Graham had a swimming pool. So while games are playing, people are in the pool. So if you're a lake person, you can have people in the lake. And then the games are kind of going in the afternoon. It's a great filler that brings everyone together. So here's what I'd recommend for you to start. I would say I'd recommend 3 backyard games to start. I'm going to give you the 3 games. Now, you can modify this however you want. What we did is we started with, I think, 3 or 4 backyard games. By 2017, Gramps had about 7 or 8 backyard games. I think we ended with 6 backyard games going. But over the course of that over a decade, every year Gramps would make a new game, bring it to the backyard out of his own brain, and we'd run with it. So there was always a new game. And then if it was great, it would stick around and maybe knock a game out the next year. Or if it stunk, it would just go to the trash. But you can always be adding new games. And new games come out, right? New people make new backyard games, and they come out. You might want to try them. And so I'm going to give you 3 that I think work great for a couple reasons. I think they're easier to play, easier to wrap your head around. They also take up a smaller imprint of space in your backyard so that you can have multiple games going, because you need to set up all your games at one time. So 3 games that I'd recommend are, let me make sure I got them right. We call it Holy Board. If you Google it, if you're looking for it, 3-hole washers. 3-hole washers. You've got 2 boards. It's very much like cornhole. I enjoy cornhole quite a bit. Cornhole would probably be a game a lot of people would throw into this game tournament. I think 3-hole washers is exponentially better than cornhole. And so it's why I would put that in instead of cornhole. It also takes up a smaller imprint. So you've got these boards that look like cornhole boards, a little smaller, with 3 holes in them. And you get them kind of closer together, way closer together than cornhole. I think they're probably about 4 feet apart from the edge to edge. And so you throw washers, little washers, about 3-inch wide washers, and you throw them. The first hole is worth 1 point. The second hole is worth 3 points. Last hole is worth 5 points, and it scores very similar to cornhole, except you've got the 3 different options of points. You do not get any points if you just keep one on the board, like with cornhole. You got to make it in a hole, and it's a great game. Play to 21. If you're looking for rules, go ahead and go with 3-hole washer. I know online they say to put the boards farther apart like cornhole. Shrink that in. It's way better. The games go faster. We'll get to how you run it in a second and why that's important. The other game I would recommend throwing in there is ladder golf. If you don't know what ladder golf is, Google ladder golf. You get golf balls connected by string. You're throwing them at a sort of a PVC pipe situation with 3 rungs. And if you wrap one of the balls with the 2 balls with the string in between, if you wrap it around one of the rungs, each rung is worth a different amount of points. Very easy. Again, Google it, ladder golf. If you haven't played it, great game, great one to throw in the mix. And then finally, the one I need to actually explain to you, you can't Google. This was a creation of Gramps, but I think it's a very fun game, and I'd recommend it for yours. We called it Crotchy because the name's funny. And it was a mix of croquet and bocce. So you get a croquet set. You just need the croquet balls and 1 wicket. Okay. Then you set up a line, and about 20 feet down from the line, you need to get a hula hoop sized circle. You can make this with string. You can make it with wire, but it needs to sit in the ground so that a ball can very easily roll over this circle you've created. You could even spray paint the circle. In the middle of that circle, you put a wicket, croquet wicket. You do 4 players, 3 players. The number of players isn't what we need to worry about right now. You roll a croquet ball down towards this end point. If you land a croquet ball in the circle, you get 1 point. If you roll the croquet ball, it goes through the wicket and out the back side of the circle, doesn't stay in the circle, you get 3 points. If you throw the ball and I'm trying to remember the scoring on this, but if you throw the ball and it leans against the wicket but doesn't go through it, I think we said that was 3 points. I think that was 3 points. And then if you roll the ball, it goes through the wicket and stays in the circle, that's 5 points. and you play to 21. Now, this one, I highly recommend you can go over 21. Don't make the rule where if you go over 21, you reset back down to 11 because it's a little harder to score. So first one to 21, you can go over, you win. Here's how you kind of run this, though. You get all the names of the people who are coming. You reach out to people. You go, hey, who is in for our game day? And what you end up doing is you make a bracket for each one of your 3 or X amount of games. A lot of these games require partners. Ladder golf, you have partner games. 3-hole washers, I think it's better with partners. It goes faster, you get more people playing. And then crotchy, you can play with 4 players. Everyone's on their own team, but you can get 4 people playing at a time. You make brackets for each game, depending on how many people you have, and you randomly draw for partners. This is important. You randomly draw for partners. So people aren't teaming up. Good people aren't just teaming up. And so you go through these brackets. So, okay, we've got, in our family, we got Scott and Emily taking on Lauren and Zach in the first round of 3-hole washers. Whoever wins moves their name over. You're constantly looking at the brackets. You're moving your name over. And then it's like, okay, hey, I need Uncle Doug and Uncle Tim. You guys are playing us in washers. Can we squeeze that game in? And so you're constantly just trying to find your opponents to play, filling out the brackets. And if you win a bracket, okay, everyone, if there's teams of 2, each person gets 3 points when you win a bracket. If you come in second place in a bracket, you get 1 point. And at the end of the day, there's going to be multiple people with multiple points. So if you won all 3 brackets, you're going to have 9 points at the end of it. You're probably going to be the highest scorer. At the end of the day, you need to whittle it down to 2 people, okay? So if you have multiple people tied, what I would recommend is you do a shoot-off in one of the games, ladder golf, washers, or crotchy, and everyone gets to do 1 round. Anyone who's tied, to break the tie, you do 1 round. So if it's washers, everyone throws the washers 1 time, and whoever gets the highest score, they win. You rinse and repeat until you just have 2 people who are going to the finals. The person who has scored the most points in the day, they will determine what game will be the game you play for the championship. And you go head to head, 2 people, whatever that game is, winner takes home whatever kind of trophy you got. So that I'd recommend throwing that in. I know that's a lot of explanation, but I think it's important, and I want this to live in this podcast. I want it to live forever. And so I'm going to title the video probably make this the best make your 4th of July better than ever or something, so that maybe it can be searchable on YouTube and we can keep this going. So I know it's a lot of explanation on rules, but it's something that I'm extremely passionate about, and I think it's something that if you incorporate into your 4th of July get together, it is going to be legendary starting next year when you do it through forever. People will talk about it forever. I know next year I'm going to start it here in Lexington with my in-laws, so we're going to have our first Lexington version of Family Fun on the 4th. I'm very excited about it. I think I'm going to start out with 3 games, and I'll just do the Gramps thing where every year I add a new game, probably ones that I make up, and if it works, we keep it. If it doesn't, we get rid of it. So I'm excited about it. That'll be fun. And that's what I got for you today. Thanks for checking out the podcast.